Second time round, the last one of the bundle. Nice to get here again. Welcome aboard the ISS Vigilant to this Star Trek Online Starship Stats Review. I'm Ri'shad, the over-analytical and way too much attention to detail Captain, also known as Ri'shad. Welcome, members of the Federation, the Klingon Defense Force, the Romulan Republic, and the Dominion. Please get comfortable as we go through a detailed Star Trek Online Starship Stats Review to discuss this ship, both in the aspect of its bundle, quickly, we'll just gloss over that, the stats and what that makes for the ship, the additions, and how that affects the ship. We'll have a quick overview of customization and see the ship in action. And if there is one thing I must say, because it's something I'm quite happy with about the ship, I thought I was coming to the worst ship last. Guess I'll have to eat my thoughts. Proved myself wrong very quickly there. Not the absolute best ship in the bundle, but when it comes down to its simple stats and performance, she's worthwhile paying attention to. Also, hope you guys will enjoy the fresh additions I've had, or had to add, because with over 100 reviews now done, it's about time I freshen things up. God, I've come a long way since that first review. Let's go. Shall we begin? Like I said, start by looking at this bundle. The Starfleet Flashback Bundle. Our ship in question. Now, I love to joke about it. More than one joke, I've got to fly at it. I'll go there in a second when we look at the stats. But, I can't help but add a joke in here because in this bundle you get a hold of 3 ships. You could purchase the ship in question for this review on its own, but thanks to one of them, I do strongly advise the bundle, especially while it's on sale. It's very worth getting a hold of for that reason. But alongside the Justiciar, Justice! Sorry, Command Star Cruiser, which is hilarious, but no, don't get sidetracked, autism, stay down. You also get a hold of the Cyclone and the Augur, both very good ships that are essentially sister ships to each other, which would make them a great support ship for a command ship. I see where they went there. And the Starfleet Flashback Bundle, well, I definitely get the Augur since one of its older variants in the game was home to Scotty in a transporter buffer during Star Trek Next Generation, and I'm pretty sure the Emissary class, one of our current ship in question's predecessors, was also in Star Trek Next Generation in its own episode with random bugs that we get to see during the Vudwar of the Star Trek Online story. Yes, of course we never see the Emissary in one piece. I'm getting sidetracked. This bundle is really good though. Why? Because all 3 versions of the ships that you get also have fleet versions. In this bundle, not only do you get the 3 ships, but you get 3 fleet modules so you can go and upgrade straight to them. Which, personally, is worth doing. You get 7 experimental ship tokens. Personally, although they've given you 7 because then with the 100% free tier 6 ship token you also get, or the 100% off, technically it's not free because when you purchase the bundle you're paying for the price of the tier 6 ship there. They thought we wouldn't notice that. Well, they're giving you enough experimental upgrades, should I say, to upgrade all the ships with X upgrade, except save 3 of them for later. Because you don't really want to upgrade the 3 original Zen ships Just get them mastered and then grab the fleet versions to upgrade. That gives you 3 upgrade tokens to go free. Oh, and 8 ship slots. Once you've got the 3 Zen ships mastered, you don't need them anymore. So dry dock them or whatever and get the fleet ones in. Go for full power and save your ship slots. Save the ship slots you have. Can you tell I'm autistically stuttering over the letter S? Also in this bundle you gain access to the Starfleet 2387 Picard uniform, the next generation weapons and the title Old School. Interesting in look. And you know what, I like the weapons, but they are a little bit tacky in look. I'm not sure why, but okay. And they definitely could have done with not putting them in the bundle but making them accessible elsewhere as well, because that would have been nice. Exclusive to the bundle wasn't fair, in my personal opinion. The bundle's still valuable even without them being exclusive, so I do think these are something that should be taken away from exclusivity and put separate, just like the ships are. The bundle is a 12,500 Zen bundle at full price. 25% off, it's definitely worth getting, but considering you're getting 4 ships essentially in the bundle at full price and with the additions, it is worth it. Now, the ISS Vigilant is my own version of this ship, and I am flying a fleet JESSY-CARE. That is my favourite way of saying that name. I can't say it seriously. And there's reasons for it. This ship's been growing on me. I'm not a fan of the way it looks, but it's growing on me. The Augur is a ship where I love the new Tier 6 version. Never liked the looks of the previous. Especially because of that weird module underneath them. I mean, I didn't mind 2 of them. They were okay, but they weren't something I was fond of. The Cyclone class, well, that goes to an extreme. I really didn't like the past ones there. None of them did like the way they look. There's aspects I liked in each, but overall, no. And even then, the Cyclone, it's been growing on me. This one was doing the opposite of them, really. I did not like the Tier 6 look. I really liked the previous ones, not the fleet. I didn't like the fleet version of this ship's previous, but the Sentinel, the Emissary, and I forgot the name of the other one. I've always liked them. And to now go to that bit that I was trying to stop myself from getting sidetracked onto, got sidetracked by something else instead. This ship is referred to as the Star Cruiser in game. What else is called the Star Cruiser? The Federation flagships. The original Tier 6 Federation flagships are also referred to as Star Cruisers. So please guys, understand right now, do not get these confused. Okay, they are not interchangeable with each other. The Odyssey classes are separate from the Star Cruiser. The Star Cruisers that you will find in the Zen store are either Tactical Science Operations or Command Star Cruiser. This ship is the Command Star Cruiser. The Odyssey ones have only 1 command seat. They are Command Star Cruisers, but they are ones with only 1 seat. This is the one with 2 command seats. I'm feeling like I have to push this home because it's a bit of confusion they've put in with the naming system, which is not caused by this new ship, but by the fact that when they brought out the Odysseys, they didn't think about it. Instead of calling them the Odyssey Cruisers, which they could have done, they called them the Star Cruisers. Or even though in Tier 5 and Tier 4, you already had this ship's previous versions, the other ships in its class line, which were already dubbed as Star Cruisers. Good job, Cryptic. Think again. Focusing down though, because this is important. The stats. Oh, the Tier 6 Starfleet vessel with a hull modifier of 1.36 and a shield modifier of 1. 4 forward weapons, 4 aft weapons. The quaint base turn rate of 9, impulse modifier of 0.15, inertia rating of 45, and bonus weapon settings allowing, or bonus power settings should I say, allowing weapon power to be at plus 10 and engines to be at plus 10. Though she has no hangar, this ship is lovely equipped with something pretty nice. It's called being a command ship. So, it has the inspirational Starship abilities. Great for DPSs. It also has the cruiser command array, allowing for strategic maneuvering, weapon system efficiency, shield frequency modulation, and attract fire. Hello tanks. The mastery package is cruiser, giving it a benefit for plus kinetic, physical, energy, and radiation damage resistances, regeneration, and maximum hull capacity. We'll get onto the trait in a bit. The make or break with this ship, the consuls and the bridge officers. Doesn't matter if the rest of the stats are great, these ones really break the ship if they're not good and don't fit the ship. Well, we got lucky. Actually, we got dangerously lucky. More on that in a bit. Actually, I'll spoil it in a second. 3 tactical consoles, 5 engineering consoles, and 2 science consoles. The ship has a Lieutenant Commander Universal, an Ensign Science, a Lieutenant Science with Command Specialization, a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, and a Commander Engineering with Command Specialization. Upgrade this ship to Fleet, and we end up with a hull and shield modifier of 1.5 and 1.1 respectively, and the good old Science is improved from 2 to 3 seats for consoles. You know what that means? Ship gets more science capability there. I'm joking, I'm taking a mick. No. What this means is this ship is a surprising little ship. Because we have to keep in mind what has changed recently. Command ships are great for certain things. Cruisers are great for certain things. But thanks to new introductions, this ship is going above and beyond what was originally capable for a ship so engineering focused. I'm not the only YouTuber, not the only SDO content creator that has been saying this, but I can happily say I've got a little bit of proof for it. This ship turns out to be a really good beamboat. I wonder what would be giving it such amplified power in broadside builds, and this was really not utilizing even more useful consoles that would have brought that beam overload build and beam fire at will build that I finally used up even higher. Because actually the fire wheel stat that I'm about to show you could have been higher if I was utilizing 2 consoles. I chose not to. One, because I didn't use the fleet version to do it, so I was missing 1 console slot, and 2, I didn't X upgrade the ship. Three, I had its console on, so its console was taking up a slot. The console I was using doesn't really benefit beam overload. The console for this ship really only benefits tanking, and actually it isn't really good at that either. Well, it's great at tanking, but it's also got some really negative side effects. We'll get there in a second. Look, I'm very 50-50 on the console. Now, what I want to get on to showing you is this stat. Oh look, right now I'm showing you what my Cyclone did. You know, the tactical ship using advanced tactical consoles and going in hard and fast, really showing its firepower. Yeah? Does anyone know where this is going yet? Beam fire at will broadside build. Instead of utilising advanced tactical consoles, it was utilising advanced engineering consoles. 4 of them to be exact. Now, yeah, I know my number ain't anything to write home about. It's nothing special, is it? But for me it is. Because I'm not a DPS elitist. I'm not one of those best players out there. If you want someone who can really pull out the absolute beast of power out of a ship, well, go talk to MC Stu 1701. Oggy. Go talk to them. Because, oh, definitely Oggy. Those guys are a class all of their own. I'm average. I'm at advanced level best. And me somehow getting a beam build. A single beam build. Not dual beams. Not forward biasing or focusing on anything like that. Flying with some randomers. So no one really helping me get these damage pushed up higher. And this was the outcome for me? I did better than a cannon scatter volley build? Oh. Yeah. Taking it back just a little bit. Oh. I wasn't even using great phasers. I was having a bit of fun. Instead of using the top of the go for DPS phasers, no, I went for the mid-range. I was like, I'm going to have a bit of fun here. Or at least people tell me harmonic phasers are mid-range. I'm going to be straight. Keep it simple. This ship is actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So the reason I'm slowing down here, focusing down a little bit, getting distracted, it's because I owe this ship an apology. Ship, I did not give you enough credit for how good you were going to turn out to be. And I admit when I make mistakes. This ship is brilliant. An excellent tank. Getting a tank score from me of 9 out of 10. Easily getting 9 out of 10 from me. It gets a support score from me of 6 out of 10. Now, some people are probably wondering why, but I'm more focusing on the fact that the fleet variant exists and what the fleet version can do. Especially since certain command abilities helps for certain versions of support. We do have that Lieutenant Commander Universal seat. We have command specialization abilities to use. This ship has got quite a decent amount of support capability in there. Not quite the same as most people will be used to, but it's there. Trust me, I'm a support player. This ship then has DPS capabilities that I just was not expecting. Frankly, was not expecting it to be as DPS capable as it is. I've got to give it 7.5 out of 10. No, I'll give it 8 out of 10 for DPS capability. 8 out of 10 because it is an excellent kinetic boat. It makes a taut boat and it does it really well. Trust me. I saw someone score with this ship with a kinetic build. It was mental. I'm actually terrified to see what Oggy's going to get from it, because that was the message I got from them was, imagine if Oggy was flying this ship. Like, yeah. But beamboats for this ship too. Damn. Yeah, 8 out of 10 for DPS. Ship, I apologise. I underestimated you. Now let's have a look at some negatives. Partial positive, but some negatives. And like I said, I'm going to add some flair. Hey, now keep in mind that in a bit you're going to see this ship flying in action. And it won't look like this. You can tell how quickly this ship is growing on me. I just have a dislike of nacelles that hang low. I don't know why. I normally like nacelles up high. Well, hello over there. Who are you? Hello, Silver Star. Nice ship. Good choice. Excellent choice, actually. There's a lot of people around here. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to make some things a little bit more fresh. So, hang on. What am I showing here? Oh, yeah, the console. Oh, but we need this as well. I can't just show you the console. That doesn't work right. So, here we go. Here's the actual information you need on the console itself. The Universal Console Micro Warp Bubble Shockwave. It is both good and bad. It has an odd benefit, but distinctive weaknesses. The easiest way to pull it is this. The passives are great if you are a tank player. Just no end of story, it's great for tanks. So the way the active works as well also quite benefits tanks. You're seeing it on screen at the moment. Let me make this clear. The distance I am from the enemy when I'm activating this console is not 10 kilometers. It's 15. I am 15 kilometers away. Do you know how much that can affect an average run doing infected or alike? The ability to charge up with your friends but then suddenly blast forwards faster than they can to get there first. Guaranteed. That's what this is. Now, yeah, there's been ways to do that in the past. The Gladius class gives you that impulse burst. That was one way to do it. The Stargazer class gave you the Picard maneuver. That was a way to do the sudden jump forwards. There's plenty of consoles that will do it, but none of them really give you great passives to benefit alongside it. This one does. Because no matter how you strike it, every build could always use a little bit of endurance. That plus 21.4 to all damage resistance rating and plus 20% to hold capacity really does help this console out. It gets you in fast. Tanks, you know how important that is. For your threat generation, you need to get in fast and you need to start generating threat really quick. Perfect for you. DPSs, well, you're all racing each other all the time. I've bloody seen it. Hell, I don't think I've ever seen a run where the DPSs haven't tried to jump in ahead of the tanks. Like, dude, you know that tank's thing that keeps you alive, right? Show them a little love, would you? But it will benefit DPSs in the same way. Running forwards and hell, because of that extra hold capacity and damage resistance, even as a DPSer, who is probably a little bit spongy as a result, taking a lot of threat generation at once, you have a better chance of surviving while the tank triggers enough threat generation to stop the enemies from firing on you. But how does the active ability work? Well, not only does this have an insane range of 15 kilometers for activation, but you charge at a foe and with an AoE physical damage and disable weapons with a 180 degree arc. I call bullshit, but you can see on screen right now. Does it look like that's a 180 degree arc? All I'm going to say is initiates a micro warp jump at a targeted foe. Once you reach their location, well, close to their location, about 1 kilometer off, it will detonate the resulting warp bubble, and that AoE effect will quite effectively deal physical damage to all nearby foes. This physical damage scales with your hull capacity and your current hull capacity level. It isn't just your hull capacity stat, it is what it is currently at. So if you are down at 5%, it's not going to be as effective as when you're at 100%. But that probably goes without saying. I just want to clarify for those that will take that logically and think, oh, it's only caring about the stat number itself. It'll also knock enemies' weapons offline for 9.5 seconds. That's a long time. Do that in the right area. Hi, infected. And quite a lot of enemies ain't firing on you while you check them out. Which is, again, really nice. You give this console to a tank, to a whole tank, with their insane hull capacity, and this console has the potential to nearly one-shot low-level enemy targets, such as little frigates, especially if you're running in just the average modes. Even in advanced level, you could probably deal decent-sized damage, making this a good console for elites. Now, after that being said, anyone else that's not so great on the physical jump and the amount of damage you'll have, because your hull capacity is not going to be as high for support or as high for DPS, we end up with another side of things of you're really only going to be using this ability for that rush ahead and then a little extra defense for your ship, making this very much a console only suitable to tanks. But it has its uses in some other builds on a level. A hill boat could probably find this useful. This is why I'm very 50-50 with it. Because we already have in game the ability to perform this. Back to this screen, yeah? You see, I can do it right now with just the basic abilities I have. Do you know what I'd use? Really fun little combination. I tend to run them up in a pattern. Let's see if I can just slot them all in the line that I use them in. This is all really good and fun, isn't it? And that's the basic on it. Attack pattern alpha, brace for impact, going down fighting, evasive maneuvers, and ramming speed. I admit there are traits slotted as well that help boost it. But the overall effect of me doing this, well, does anyone remember that fight with me and Lynch when I used my Chimera and I one-shotted one of these ships? Is that 100% HP? And I just went, and he went, boom, bye-bye. What's that? Yeah, that was a fun day. Because then I was at 65% hull then and I dropped to 14. Hey, past me, you sure about that? Let's double check that 8-year-old video, shall we? Yeah, the joke I'm trying to say here is we've always had a pattern of abilities that can literally perform what this one console does. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen a little bit of a bigger effect, like maybe the shockwave bubble also has a, because this has a 4-kilometer range for the physical damage it deals, give it, say, a 10-kilometer range for confusion. That's a massive burst bubble that will confuse enemies that are within 10 kilometers of the ship. So every ship that's in fighting range is now confused. And they stay confused for 5 seconds, or until a certain amount of damage has been done. That would have made this console much better. So hey, if you want to buff this console, Cryptic, there you go, do that. I'm not really going into the physical damage stat that comes out from this ship because of how much it was affected by your whole capacity. So let's move on from there. Trait. Oh. Right, that's the point. I'm using the fleet version, so I have to find a trait for you guys. I'm in the wrong section. Yoink! None of you saw me do that. Please, none of you saw me do that. Oh dear. What is it called again? Specialist gear. Can you tell I'm stupid? There it is. Dunk! Ah, just like it always. Just like the other 3 traits, the recents. And when I say the other 3 traits, I'm talking about the trait you got with the Theseus class. You know, that £300 bundle. With the Cyclone class and with the Augur. But, well, which one do you think Specialist Gear sort of ranks with? Do you think it's with the Cyclone class? You know, the one I really love. Give that 10 out of 10. You think it's with that? No. Do you think it's with the Augur? No. Do you think it's with the Theseus? Yes. Anyone see my Theseus review is now worried. Once again, when using a Specialist Bridge Officer ability for the first time on the map, or further use of said ability of the same type, will trigger an additional effect against, in this case, your target. So this the difference for this trait. Instead of affecting you in some way, when you trigger a Specialist Bridge Officer ability for the first time on a map, or further uses of the same specialization, you will affect your targeted enemy. Please note that you must have a targeted enemy for this to take effect, with one of a certain aspect of outcomes. This trigger will always be triggered so long as you are targeting an enemy. If you are not targeting someone, when you activate, say, an Intel Bridge Officer position for the 3rd time on the map, I'm afraid that trigger that you'd have had for random subsystem offline has just been lost, wasted, gone, bye. Because now clicking on and targeting a new person won't suddenly cause it to proc. If you weren't targeting at the time that you proc the Intel ability, the proc of the trait is lost. Not that you're losing much here. Why? Well, because if you use command, you'll taunt the target for up to 8 seconds. Hey, actually, that's somewhat useful because commands can be good tanks. So, useful. Just don't use this trait as a command player if you're using a torpedo build, because you're now the tank. Even if you're not a tank, if you're like a kinetic DPS build, you dare to use this trait, you're now the tank. Just be ready for that. Intel, knock a random subsystem offline for 6 seconds. Sure, that sounds great. Really see that being useful in certain situations. Random. Now, if you knock the weapons offline, knock the shields offline, I'd have been happy. Random? No. A 1 in 4 chance of getting one of the ones you want? No, thank you. Temporal Ops will give you 1 entropy. Are you really going to slot a damn specialist? Are you really going to slot a freaking trait to gain 1 poxy entropy? When you can get that 1 entropy from literally every other move you're spamming off as a temporal ship. That's a joke. That is a complete waste of a trait. That makes me angry. What? Fuck off. Miracle Worker. Minus 10.1 to all power levels for 6 seconds. That's okay. All out on drain builds. Not entirely sure that's what you're going to be using the Miracle Worker for, but well, actually, you might be. No, I'll take that back. Miracle Workers are good drain builds. So, yeah, I can see use of that one there. concede to that one. Pilots stacking minus 16.7 for defense rating on your target for 25 seconds. Stacking 16.7 for 25 seconds. Okay, how many times does it stack, first of all? And, not that it really matters, because you're going to be killing off enemies pretty quick anyway. Also, stacking 25 seconds. Yeah, you got a good bridge officer recharge time, because you can get off a few of those, but I want to know where the limit is. Also, apparently this trait benefits from, well, threat control and that, but I'm just gonna go with this trait is crud. I will concede that in 2 areas this trait may be useful. It's a mediocre average for drain builds. Honestly, there's way too many other budget traits to use that would literally be better than this one. So, yeah, just go with that. I could only see this being used by tanks. And even then, I don't know why you would, because I will concede right now that even in budget build tanks, you can generate threat far easier, that this would just be a waste of a trait slot. 1 out of 10. The trait gets 1 out of 10 from me. And it only gets 1 because it's on a cheap ship. That's the only reason it's getting 1. It would have gotten 0 if it wasn't. I actually... Yeah, you can see what I thought about the Theseus, a £300 ship's trait, eh? Oh. Such a bad trait. So, let's get back to some positives, some pleasants, because I felt myself get really moody there. Hey, customize. Now, happily, I can say customization with this ship is something of a positive for me. Although it's of course only in 4 segments, it always has been, so I wasn't expecting that to change. You can modify the hull, the source of the pylons, and the nacelles. If you have the fleet version, you gain access to the Nomad. Personally, this is the only version of previous ship that I wasn't a fan of. I am quite a fan of the side torpedo launchers. Kind of wish it fired from the side torpedo launchers, but it doesn't. Okay, I'll admit I like the front of the ship. I'm just not really keen on the hull. Well, I'll show you. I'm not keen on the fact that it looks like it's bent. Easier to see if I lift the nacelles up. There you go. The whole ship looks like it's been bent on the bar. Not really a fan of that. Emissary, the ship I am so positive we see a destroyed version of this in Next Generation. Very pretty, very beautiful. And when I say I'm positive we see this, I'm not talking about we see this ship. I'm talking about we see part of its saucer randomly floating in the cell. The ship's been split in half. That's what you see. I'm not talking about seeing it solid. Just a car. Yes, I did just say just a car. It's my favourite way of saying its name. Just a car. Jessica. I got a new one. It's the Jessica. The Jessica's pretty. It is growing on me very quickly. I just don't like the way the nacelles are swept back and down. They feel like they're trailing off. Sentinel. Probably my favourite pylons. Beautiful looking ship, personally speaking. Feels very strong, very armoured. Kind of wish that the component aspects here smoothly touched together, but, you know, well, hey Cryptic, something for you to update. Visual. And Vanguard. The other one I always liked. Always had a soft spot for it. Been flying it for a while. I found it funny when Trek Yards reviewed this ship. It's nice to see the customizations we got on this ship. So, quite frankly, with my happiness there, all I'm also going to add in is we do have Defiant, Fleet Holes, Galaxy, Intrepid, Mirror, NX, Odyssey, Sovereign Refit, NX Refit, Sovereign, Type 7, Type 7A. And if you really do need to have that Intelligence Type 2 hull, I'll tell you right now, as I've been doing with all others, the way to achieve it is really simple. Type 7A hull, Vesta in all patterns, primary color set to $8, secondary color set to $10. And that will get you there. If you want to flare it up a little bit, drop that down, make it $15. And you get a nice looking intelligence hull version for the ship. Now with that being said, let's go. Time to take her into action. Credit where credit is due. I went up and down with this ship, didn't I? But like I say, credit where credit is due. This is a good ship. Shame about certain aspects, but this is a good ship. If you're getting this ship from the Zen store, it'll be primarily because you want the console. That trait is such a pass for me. I will be happily proved wrong, because when something annoys me that much, I need to be proved wrong. I need a positive back. I'm too pessimistic. That's why I'm so happy that when I thought I was coming to the worst ship and it found out it's actually quite good, that, well, I wasn't wrong that it is the worst ship in the bundle. Technically speaking, it is the worst ship in the bundle, but it is simultaneously just as good as the Augur class. The Cyclone is easily the best ship in the bundle. And I don't say that because it's a DPS ship. You know I'm a fan of science, so you'd expect me to say Augur, I'm sure. Oh, ow! Ooh, I hope no one picked that up. Ooh. Yeah, I'm leaving that in. Someone just braked outside and all I heard was a screech in my ears. Oh, hyperacusis people. Yeah, things can be irritating. This ship happily has only one minor irritant. I can get over it. As a result, whether you want to get this ship individually or from the bundle, I do recommend it. It's a surprising ship. If you have the time and energy to put into getting the advanced engineering consoles and doing what you must to get them suitable for yourself, well, I can honestly say to you guys that this ship has a lot of energy build potential in it. To re-clarify why I'm so happy about it, well, it requires me to bring this up one more time. Whoop. Yeah, my logs are getting so fucking broken. Bring up its infected run and I'll show you on here. It holds. And that's the benefit of these advanced engineering consoles and the benefit this ship gets. Although it is kind of weak in the tactical console side of things, its benefit is these advanced engineering consoles lead to a more sustained output. Yes, the peak is nowhere near as high as you would be using the advanced tactical consoles. The advanced tactical consoles give you a huge slam of peak damage. Your spike damage is huge. But where this one, where advanced engineering lacks in spike damage, it makes up for in sustained damage. And that to me goes a long way. Personally, I was pleasantly surprised. My final score for this ship, nowhere near as low as I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be low. I just didn't expect it to be quite so high. Because I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. That technically means I just rated this ship higher than the Augur. The Augur got 8 out of 10 from me. The Cyclone got 10 out of 10. This one, 9 out of 10. Great tank. Great DPS capability. Good round average support. Can't knock it. I like this ship. Guys, please let me know in the comment section what you think of her. Is she someone you... Is she a ship you want to get? Let me know. Always love reading your comments. It's always the best part of these videos, is literally having the feedback from you guys and what you think. If you found this video helpful or useful in some way, then please consider hitting that like button, maybe even sharing the video. A massive thank you to people credited on screen right now who helped make this video possible. And if you want to help this channel out a little bit further than just sharing, maybe buy me a cup of tea. The links are in the description. One-time donation makes a big difference for me. Thank you guys. I look forward to hopefully seeing you as part of the Shadow Star crew in the future by hitting the subscribe button. And may Warrior's fortune be with you. Live long and prosper, my friends.